Hey guys, just a quick video from me, and I'm just going to be discussing my initial thoughts as to the meta guns. This is before sim.gg has updated their website. So obviously we've got the new assault rifle, the Vargo S. Now, based off the previous seasons, I do think the Marco is going to be meta, just because they normally make the new gun meta, because I don't really know why, but they do like to. So I would recommend you go and level this up and you unlock it. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is get 15 close range kills. There's no 15 match requirement. Thank you so much for removing that 15 match requirement. It was such rubbish. First of all, the main buffs that I'm excited about is not anything like the Charlie, which is the bar. That's only recoil adjustments. Our STG's only recoil adjustments too. However, the first interesting one is the NZ41. So as you can see here, the max damage range has been decreased down, not by too much, so I don't think that's going to be the real thing. However, the minimum damage has been decreased to 30, down from 34, which is a big change for the long range, but I suspect the developers have been looking at the stats, and this will put it in line with the other guns. Now, the KG has had a small nerf, a not very big nerf. It's only the minimum damage has been decreased by 1, so I don't think that's going to affect it too much. I reckon it's still going to be in the meta. Now, a very interesting one is that the AMAX has been buffed at 4 damage at its minimum damage range. So potentially, once Sim has updated its stats, I'll whack it in just to check. I'll be trying it out and I'll make another video on this, but I think that the AMAX could be very viable at longer ranges. Now, Kilo's also had a large buff as well, a 5 damage in the minimum damage range with the mid damage step removed. So this is the current graph for the Kilo, and as you can see, this is the mid damage step they're talking about. So what this is basically going to do is we're going to have this bottom line here, and then it's going to go straight to this top line. However, as you can see, they're buffing it by 5 damage, meaning this line is going to be more down here, potentially making the Kilo a lot more viable. Now, speaking of these low recoil weapons, the Krig has also been buffed, but only by a little bit, so I don't know how viable this is going to be. But, of course, the best way to do it, in the words of JGod, is go into Warzone, try them out, and if you get absolutely dumpstered on, or in his words, absolutely shit on, then you can just try a different weapon, so on and so forth, until you find the meta gun. I think it will take a few days before we discover the meta gun, however. Now, taking a look at our SMGs, I think the most exciting ones is really going to be the Blixen, which has had a slight nerf. The headshot multiplier is decreased by 0.04. I don't think that's going to do much. However, the minimum damage has decreased, so at the longer ranges it won't be as good, and its movement speed has also decreased. Now, unfortunately, the Marco has been nerfed a lot as well, by 2 damage to the max damage range. This does make me sad, as this was my gun. No one else was using it. It was just for me. I had lots of time to kill with this. However, it does seem like it has been nerfed, so that'll put it in line with the Blixen. I haven't actually talked about this yet, but the Armaguerra may actually be meta. So I banged in a build the other day with a 34 round mag, 315mm barrel. You actually get the time to kill, which is the same as the Marco pre-nerf. So that could potentially be meta. However, I don't think the 34 round mags are going to be that attractive. Now, interestingly, the Uzi has been buffed from Modern Warfare. I don't really know why. I know that people use it as a sniper support because it's been good long range, and I know there was even a meta where people used it as an AR. So this minimum damage range being increased up to 28 might make it substantially better as one of these AR weapons. Now, another very interesting point to make is about the shotgun. So every single shotgun pretty much that's viable has been buffed. Now, this is a pretty significant buff because, as you can see here, the damage has been increased, some by 2, but even here, as you can see on the Gracie Auto, up by 6 points in the minimum damage range. Now, this is really exciting because I think the last shotgun meta we would have had, right, the Akimbo double barrels, that was the last exciting kind of shotgun meta, so potentially we could have another meta here. Now, our LMGs, the main interesting one for me is the Whitley, because the Whitley was potentially going to be meta last season. However, it never really caught on. However, as you can see here for the Gracie Rapid Barrel, the max damage has been increased by a whopping 5 damage a bullet, and based off the name in the barrel, Rapid, I can assure you that this will definitely hit hard. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about the M16 and the Carve being buffed. The M16 is definitely viable. However, what might be meta, weirdly, is the Deagle. So weirdly, the Deagle has been buffed significantly. As you can see, the max damage has been increased to 91 damage per bullet. Now, I saw a tweet by sim.gg saying this should be the absolute meta, even without Akimbo, because as you can imagine, 91, that means you need to shoot 4 bullets and your target will be dead. I'm going to run this tonight, and I'll let you know tonight as well in a little short, a YouTube short, if this is the meta. However, obviously I do not know. We've had some attachment buffs as well, not too much other than the fact that the recoil boost is now a bit more difficult to use for SMGs. Overall, these are the most dramatic nerfs and buffs that I can see. Potential metas, there's the Vargo, because also it's the new rifle. The AMAX might be back in the meta. I still think the NZ's definitely going to be viable, however I don't think it's going to be the absolute meta. And then SMGs wise, it's pretty hard to tell at the moment. However, I definitely could see the Armaguerra being meta as well as the Type 100. However, I'll update you later. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.